Today I'm making my favorite sweet cornbread.
Hello, welcome to Robyn on the Farm. I'm from the South. All my ancestors are from the South, from Alabama and Georgia and Tennessee, and so my roots run deep. And so I was raised on good old Southern cornbread. And my traditional Southern mama, she believes that sugar has no place in cornbread. Traditionally, cornbread in the South is made with white stone ground corn. Usually doesn't have flour in it and has no sugar, no sweetener. So it's pretty dense. My mom makes it in a cast iron skillet with probably a ½ inch of bacon grease at the bottom. And so you can just imagine how good that tastes. But I had no idea that in different parts of the country that cornbread tastes different. So when I was a little girl, we went on a cross-country trip. We went to Yosemite, and we went and saw the Grand Canyon, and we went skiing in Utah. And while we were in Utah, we stopped at this really amazing restaurant that I still remember to this day, 30-something years later. We stopped at a restaurant called Frontier Pies. And I got a meal, and my meal came with a side of cornbread. I like cornbread, so I figured I'd get a side of cornbread with it. And so this cornbread came out, and it was yellow, and it was probably twice as thick as the cornbread I was used to, and it tasted like cake. It was amazing. To me, cornbread was savory, and this cornbread came out and it was like cake. It was like a total dessert. And so I loved it. As a little girl, I just thought it was like the best thing ever. Then we went back to Georgia, and cornbread went back to same old, same old. My mom does not believe in sweet cornbread, so we never had it again. But I remembered that cornbread. That made an impression on me as a little girl. And so now as an adult, I can make my own cornbread. I still make good old Southern cornbread. I love Southern cornbread. Like I said, I was raised on it, so I appreciate it. I love it. But I also really, really, really love sweet cornbread. And sometimes it just goes better with some of the meals that we have. So I have a really great recipe for sweet cornbread, and I'm going to share that with you today. It is very, very similar to how I remember that cornbread tasting all those years ago at Frontier Pies. So I'll show you how to make it. I hope you enjoy it.
To make this recipe, you're going to need some all-purpose flour, yellow cornmeal, baking powder, sugar, salt, milk, eggs, and butter. Go ahead and put your cast iron skillet in the oven to preheat at 400 degrees. In a medium bowl, combine 2/3 of a cup of butter and 1 cup of sugar. Now cream your butter and sugar until it looks like this. Now add 3 eggs to your bowl. And beat again until it looks like this. Now add 1 2/3 cup of milk and beat it again with your hand mixer. Now scrape the sides down with a rubber spatula. Now add 1 cup of cornmeal, 2 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour, and 4 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. Be sure to stock a lot of baking powder in your prepper pantry because it's easy to run out fast when you're making a lot of cornbread and biscuits. Now it's time to add 1 teaspoon of salt. Now mix those ingredients by hand. Give it a good mix until it looks like this. And that is it. Those are all of our ingredients. Now get your hot skillet out of the oven and melt some butter in the bottom of it. Now pour your cornbread batter into your hot skillet, smooth it all out, and pop it back into the oven and let it bake at 400 degrees for 30 minutes. And voila! Our sweet cornbread is ready. Look how golden and delicious it looks. Okay, now it's time to taste it. Let's get a little slice out of this. Woo, look at all that steam, hot out of the oven. Yep, it tastes exactly like I remember it all those years ago. It tastes sweet and like dessert, almost like a yellow cake. Oh, what a treat. How do you like your cornbread? Do you like it sweet or savory?
I'm still pretty new to YouTube, and so every single like or subscriber I get or comment just totally makes my day. So if you wouldn't mind doing that for me, I would totally appreciate it. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next time.